unmute. And welcome back to the show. The Fly Degenerates. They are the fly. I'm the degenerate. Every Thursday, mostly football talk, but a lot of other ridiculousness as well. After a, a 2-week or 3-week hiatus, we finally got Word Life back. Full-time Cub fan. And of course, we get to hear the thoughts of the Hard Knock Life man himself, Mr. Flex. So how are we feeling this evening?
Fantastic.
Good,
Footballs are
good.
around the corner, man.
Yeah.
Come on now. This is what we live for.
I know. It's finally like these dog days are finally, I feel like, about to end. We're gonna have some some good shit to cook on. So, you know,
We'll see that.
Yep.
hopefully it'll be an exciting season. But we still have a little time before things really get popping off. But the first thing I want to talk to y'all about, I told y'all I had a surprise topic that I wanted to ask y'all about. And this is a topic that is very important to me. And I kind of wanted to have a third or fourth person here to discuss it, a female perspective. But I figured, you know, I'm most comfortable with y'all, so I feel like I feel like we could talk about this first, and then, you know, once we get it out, maybe we can bring it back up in the future. We have a special guest. We can have a special guest to discuss this topic. And the topic is nudes. The sending and receiving of nudes. Now, this is a topic I've never talked with anybody about before. I've always just, you know, received nudes. And, you know, I figured, you know, you hear people talk about it. But I've never really discussed what the process is, what the expectations are, what the etiquette is. And I don't know if everybody else's etiquette when it comes to nudes is the same as mine. So I'll tell y'all what my kind of situation is, and then, you know, you tell me if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm, you know, if you haven't had a different experience. You know, I'm just trying to get a feel, because this is not something that, you know, I've ever discussed, and I'm curious what everybody else's vibe is. Now, obviously, we are all in different romantic situations. I don't live with a significant other, of course, and I've been, you know, bouncing around for the you know, the extent of the last several years. So it's a different whole dynamic, but still, I'm still curious. But when it comes to sending and receiving nudes, I will tell you this. First, I don't send them ever.
Okay.
I'm not a
Because
sender.
that was all right. Because that was number one.
Well, so here's the thing, but here's why, the reason why, this is part of the reason why I wanted to bring this up, is because I don't know if other people or couples have more of a balance in the kind of sending and receiving dynamic, or if I'm like being a jerk by just being a recipient of nudes and not having, you know, not having an exchange at all. But I don't send at all. That's number one. And it's not necessarily that.
How do they take that though? Don't they get upset about that?
So from my experience, I've never had anybody get upset. I've had a couple of people ask, and if they ask, I will awkwardly, clumsily try to do something and do it so poorly that they don't ask again. That's usually how it ends up going. And it's not even really that I'm purposefully doing it poorly. I just don't know what to do. Like I know what a good female nude looks like when I receive it, but I don't know what a good dude nude looks like. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what angle. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's supposed to look like, so I don't do it. Now,
Yeah.
The whole body is supposed to be a whole body.
is
no,
it? See,
no,
well,
I don't
see,
think
that's
I
the
meant
thing.
I-
This is why we need to talk about this stuff. So, but
Nah,
I
I
know,
think.
hold on.
Go
But
ahead.
so I don't send, and then as far as receiving, I don't ask. I've never asked, but it has always been a very integral part of any relationship I've ever had. And I don't know if that is because, like, it's weird how, and I'm curious if my experience is a normal one. Is it that every girl really wants to send nudes, or is it just that every girl who I have dated, very quickly after getting to know me, I feel like they know this guy, he wants nudes. Like, and I don't have to say it because like I said, I've never said it, I've never asked for it, but I've never not gotten it either. So I'll ask y'all first, what is y'all's situation when it comes to, have y'all ever been a sender of nudes?
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Flex, have you been a sender of nudes? A nude sender?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, never been a sender of nudes. Yeah. Now, when you've sent nudes, was that out of request, or was it you trying to be gentlemanly as like an exchange, like, you know, or you was just feeling like she's gonna enjoy this and it was like a gift?
Yeah,
or like...
It was asked of me. It was always asked of me, always. Okay. Yeah, I never just like, oh shit, he's looking right tonight. Let me send a group chat. My nigga's strong today.
Well, that's why I asked, because I like
looking cute today.
Because there's been times where like looking cute today. Okay, so you've been asked, you've been requested. What does that request come in like? Because I don't know if it comes, because like for me, when I've been requested, it's been like, hey, it's never been send me blank and with any kind of specifics. It's always like, send me a picture. And like, and like I know what's being asked of me, but I don't know what's being asked of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how does that request come into you?
We're talking a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like the last one I probably sent was.
Let me see what you're working with.
Maybe 4 years ago. But I remember the first one I ever sent. But anyway, it's just like whoa, I sent you.
Don't bulldoze past that now. You remember the first one? What was that like?
Yo, the first one I sent was off a computer's camera.
Oh, like a webcam joint.
Yeah, that shit was fire too.
Like, remember that?
That bitch got the whole grill and everything. Like I killed that one. That shit is in the whole. That shit's in the Hall of Fame. That shit was hard. After that, it's only been that. You know what I'm saying? After it was
like a jail. It was like a jail picture, but without closing.
Okay.
It was just the hammer and me in the back, like.
Okay, so and this was a while ago.
The hand. You leaning back to stretch it out, or what are you doing?
Nah, think about where the angle gotta be. You feel me? Like in order to get and then to get both heads, like you gotta be like.
Okay,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
you in the back, and it is in the foreground.
You know what I mean? Like you think about it, like it's a small camera.
The foreskin is in the foreground.
Yeah. Now is this do we what's okay? So this was asked, and I assume that it was received well.
Yeah. This was a while ago when I had I think it was my first or second laptop, so you can imagine.
Okay.
And I had received a few. I never personally asked at this moment, this particular person, whatever, but it was sent. So many were sent, and then I guess the courage was built. You know what I mean? And they asked me, and I said, "Fuck it." I'm saying here, receiving. Let me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is back when I would, whatever I got, I would try to. Reciprocate.
Yeah, if it's an exchange program.
Yeah. Now it's not like that. Now it's like I receive, and if I feel like it, man, I doubt it.
Okay, so all right, so that makes me feel good, because like for a while I'm kind of like feeling like I'm feeling bad because I'm only receiving and I never send, but I kind of been under the impression that that's just kind of how it goes with certain things, you know.
I think the new generation of female is more accustomed to receiving, to sending and not receiving.
Okay,
but I know I mean, there's definitely dudes that send. You know what I'm saying, on a consistent basis. Like,
Well, yeah, but I feel like there's dudes that send. Well, maybe I don't know, but I feel like there's dudes that send that they're not being asked to send. I feel like
yeah, that's what
obviously
I'm
there's a
saying.
lot of
Yeah,
that going,
like the
but that's
first thing.
not. That's a whole. I feel like that's another category. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about
yeah. We're not talking about those kind of guys.
the unwelcome nudes.
Yeah.
We're just talking about between two consenting, consenting adults.
Mm-hmm.
So now here's another problem that I have run into.
Go ahead.
Like I said, I love receiving a good nude. I love it. It's like it is essential to the relationship. But I made a mistake a few years ago. It was a young lady that will remain unnamed was sending me nudes and sending me them in like very regularly, and it was great. But how do you respond when so you don't, like we've already established, you don't respond with a nude. How do you respond to the nudes? Because like when I was getting, I mean, I still do get them regularly now, but and I've learned my lesson, because at the time I was getting them regularly all the time, and like sometimes I'd be busy and shit like that, and like I feel like I always want to come up with something to say in response. I don't want to just leave it there, but eventually I feel like I run out of things to respond. Like I feel like I can't keep saying the same response every time, But I feel at the same time, I feel like ideally I would love to receive them and never even respond. Just get them and I don't gotta respond. It's just like it's just like a newsletter,
Yeah, get them, use them, and then
exactly. That would be
bookmark
the
'em.
ideal situation. But obviously that's not fair and right. But what do you respond when you see it, when you receive a good nude? Like what do you say? Like does it because like does it immediately go into like a plan, like okay, we're gonna do this when I see you type of thing, or you just respond with a compliment, like because for me it never goes to like, oh, okay, like we're gonna do this and anything like that, graphic detail, nothing like that. Like I'll just try to be very encouraging and complimentary, and that's really where I'm at.
that's funny.
That's all I got, and
Nah,
I'm just sitting here
yeah,
wondering this whole time, like, am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? Like, I don't know. Like, and I've never had it out with anybody to kind of understand where everybody stands on this whole thing.
I think you're doing just enough, because you know what I'm saying. Because it's like you gotta act like you've been there before. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying. You can't be like, oh wow, like like that type of shit, like the wolf from Droopy,
Yeah, with the
eyes
and
popping
the
out,
tongue that
and
hits
you
the floor
and you
rolls
doing
out.
and you doing the thing with the foot where like it was banging up and down. You know?
Put your hand instead, like the mask,
Yeah.
the mask.
Yeah, word. So it's like I don't know. I think that's perfectly fine. You don't want to seem like you're an animal too. Like you know what I'm saying, like mad thirsty. It's like, oh, nice. You know what I'm saying? It's like like I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying, like. Like you said, you did, a nice little compliment back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're a vet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't seem like, ooh, like, oh, he really likes that. Like you're gonna really like save that for some shit. Like, you gotta keep the words to a minimum. Just to, you don't want to. I don't know. You don't want to give off like an energy where like maybe you're digging it too much, and then or like maybe you thirsty, or that type of shit. It's like you play the baseline, and I think you're good to go right there.
I feel like there's shorties that want the opposite though. I feel like there's definitely shorties that want to hear you be like super eager,
like
feel
thirsty.
Me? Yeah, like because for every pick that you get, at least this is how I think. I don't know. Every pick that you got, there's at least 2 or 3 other dudes that she sent it to, probably back to back. That's how I think. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you think you gotta
like, even if you like long-term relationship?
I don't do that with like with my show. Like she asked me for that. Hell no. She asked me for that. You might.
No, not ask you, but you never do a little receiving, like, hey, like keep things, spice it up. No?
Rarely, and it's more like hurry home type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like saying cute, like shit like that. So so I could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
do a
like a
U-turn
little,
and
like a little remote foreplay kind of situation.
exactly. So
No,
I look at it more as like, okay, now I know prolong, like go the other way, go to Walmart and oh, I didn't see the text till I got home. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like like oh, I went to the movies already. Well, but the movie was started at 8:15. I sent it to you at 4. You know
nah,
how I am
nah.
with movies.
Yeah,
You got offered free tickets.
because I've had situations where it's like it's super casual and like you said, like I can assume or I won't assume that it's just me. But then there's other situations where I feel like I should. And also here's the other thing is that I'm very specific. So there's a lot of things that I'll get sent that I know it's just for me. Because I'm weird like that, and there's no way like you're doing a handstand and you're wearing, a Superman costume. That's for me.
Yeah.
That's not for
But you don't
somebody
think
else.
you don't
That's
think
like
if it
that's like
if
your
it,
watermark.
Exactly.
but if it looks good and she looks good in it and she believes she looks good in it, what's gonna stop her? Maybe not at that time, but in the future to send it. Because I always look at it like that. Like
Yeah.
at that moment when because most times when I'm in that when we're at that stage where we're sending those things and whatever, it's usually like I didn't touch that yet. Feel me? Or I might have just touched it. You know what I'm saying? Once
Okay.
or almost fully touched it, then fully. So
You
I
wanna go
always
back
feel
for
like
seconds.
there's 3 other dudes on the line like that
Okay.
or two. And I'm saying that she sent it to it, and shit, you might be if you say the right thing, you might be the one to get it that night. You know what I'm saying? Because she's clearly hot right there. You know what I'm saying? Or she might not be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too eager because I don't know how to be eager, but I definitely like encourage her. Like you know what I'm saying? Like and you never got like the what like ever be too cool and then she'd be like, what would you do with that right now? Like you ever had that question like, and then you feel like
Well,
oh
but yeah,
okay
but
this is what we want.
that's
This is what you want. All right, and
yeah,
then you
you know
give
what
it
I'm
to her.
saying. But
Feel me?
that's you play that you play the cards you're dealt. You know what I'm saying? Like because you don't want
At
to be
that
the
point,
one
you
like
gotta go in.
like you don't want to be like the one gassing and then you know what I'm saying. Like then she like you say oh then she want to send it to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like oh
He didn't give me the
like
response I wanted. Let me
yeah,
see
but
if
I'm
old
saying
boy
it's like
does.
okay, you know what I'm saying. So let me see what you know what I'm saying. Like I keep you interested. Okay, you didn't like that. Maybe you like this one. You know what I'm saying. Like if you gas it, throw it back too much. It's I don't know. It's just like that's probably not what you want to deal with anyway. You know what I'm saying? If it's that like that, that's not the That's not if you send it. She sent it to like 3 other dudes. Like that's one, not the one that you probably want to be getting involved in this shit with.
Long
And
distance,
also
no. But I
Yeah.
mean, longevity probably not. But
no, but and I mean also it's
yeah, to
like
get it, yeah, yeah.
it's like then you can't you definitely can't be sending her some shit like that because like you
Yeah,
sending
yeah,
her
nah,
like that because
yeah.
that's that's not gonna be a good look for you.
Now it'll be
And
private.
the other thing is like now is like yo honestly this shit is scary just like with all this shit where with the cloud and all this shit and all
Yeah,
the you don't know who's seeing what. You don't know if you go into the Wi-Fi Starbucks, some shit. I don't even know if that's still a thing.
that's true.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like you
it's a
don't know if they
different
can get
game.
into.
It's a
You know what I'm
different
saying?
game
Like
for real.
you're probably better. You're better
That's why
off. Like
Snapchat is fire.
that's what I'm saying. You're better off just
Well,
like
it's funny you say that because Snapchat has been a vehicle for a lot of this for me. But and I feel like there's a purpose behind it because with Snapchat, obviously you can see who saves, you can see who sees when they see, right? So
Snapchat if they snapshot it.
yeah,
Whatever.
exactly. If they
yeah, you
save
could.
it, they
Yeah, that
snap,
was
they
always from the
screenshot it
beginning.
exactly. And I screenshot. So here's
Screenshot. That's what I meant.
here's my strategy. I screenshot everything, always. Whether it's a nude, whether it's a picture of a dog, whether it's a grocery list, I screenshot everything. So when I screenshot the nudes, you can't act like I'm just screenshotting that because I've
Smart.
already set the precedent,
Smart.
and I screenshot everything.
Smart man. Smart man.
It's not my first rodeo, baby. But
Yeah.
so like when I was saying before about learning lessons, so one time I made the catastrophic mistake. This would go with me to my grave. I had the ultimate situation where I'm just getting them like newsletters all the time, but more than newsletters, like more than once a day. and it was a great time to be alive. But like there was a time, like I said, I felt like I was running out of responses, running out of things to say, and then there was a one fateful day where I was like real busy, and they're just flooding in, and I'm like having a chaotic, busy day, so I'm just letting them sit there in Snapchat, and then I get the text. Did you
don't
look
like
at the
it?
Snapchat? And I had some words like, oh, I'm gonna look at it later, and then she like copped a little attitude. So then I was like, yo, like, you don't understand. Like, I got mad shit going on. Like, and I got tight. And, you know, obviously the well dried
that
up
wasn't
on
a-
me. And it was
Yeah.
a crucial mistake that I learned
Yeah.
from, never to be done again. But that was what made me
Like-
curious, that I want to know. What happened?
Like you went too far in the opposite direction. Like you played it too cool.
Yeah,
like,
played it too cool. Played it.
Yeah.
I
He was
tried
really
to,
busy.
I
He was
tried
really-
to go.
Yeah,
too,
but I'm saying
like, but the thing is that like she knew how much I was enjoying it, and obviously I knew how much I was enjoying it. But I was trying to let off like I don't need this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't. When I needed to breathe, so I did need it, and I made a mistake. But
Yeah.
you know, we learn from our mistakes, and things are better now. But that's
Never
why I
you learn.
wanted to know like what it is, and what's the natural response, and what's the natural, you know, what is, because this is not something I ever talked about with anybody. So I was just curious, like what is everybody else's situation? Is it similar to mine, or am I doing things different?
I mean, judging by how many of these things you're getting, I think you're doing just fine.
Thanks.
Keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I learned from that one time, and ever since then, I just keep it. I just try to. For me, the key has been to just try to be as consistent as possible. Like I said, I'm consistent with the screenshots, so you never seem like I don't ever let you know that I'm feeling a certain type of way. I don't even really want to let off, because some all nudes are not created equal, right? So some I get them and I'm like, oh, that's a special shot right there. And then sometimes
I
you
give
get
that
it, and
I give
it's
that
like,
nude two fitteds and a do-rag. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Like
That's what you need to start doing.
What'd you think of that one?
no,
5 fitted.
yeah, exactly. So, but I'm like, so I don't want to let on if it's like if it's noticeably good, and I don't want to let on if it's noticeably it's never bad, but like I said, some can be better than others. So if it's one
It's a
that's kind of
hierarchy.
like it's alright, like I'll still have the same even keel type of response, you know, because I don't want to let on, you know, yay or nay. So that's my key, is I just try to be consistent.
Yeah.
Mount Pushmore.
Yes, exactly. So, but
I think you're playing it right.
Yeah. So as far as like the sending, like I said, I don't send.
They don't ask though. They don't be like, oh.
I've been asked.
Usually after they send you like an amount, or have you ever like started off like, hey, can you send?
Oh, you know what? I just remembered. Actually, there was one time that I was asked, and it
First.
didn't go well, and I was scarred. I'm actually still scarred now. You just ripped the scab off. I totally have. I feel like I had blocked it out of my mind, and now I just remembered about it. There was one time that I was getting asked, and this girl was sending me all the time too, and I was getting asked, and then like finally I was like, all right, let me try to do something. And this was probably my fault and my mistake, but I was trying to think too much about it, because she had went away like, I forget what she went away for. I think it was something with her, like for a trip with her girlfriends or something like that. And I thought maybe this is a good time. And she had just asked, and I was like, all right, let me see if I could cook something up here. So I sent some, and it just sat there. And it sat
Oh no! See,
And
that's
you couldn't
even
delete
worse.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It sat there, and then it got checked, and there was no response, no reaction.
Nah,
Right?
I got one
like-
better than top.
For like a day, and then 2 days, and then I was like, and like I'm
You're
going through
self-conscious.
it as I'm sitting there waiting. Like at first I'm self-conscious, and then I'm angry. Because even if it's whack, even if you don't like it, you know, I'm trying to be courteous here. I always respond.
You asked me for it.
Exactly. You asked me for it, right? So finally, she ends up hitting me up because it wasn't like we was texting in between that, because I was trying to give some time, give some space, because I knew that she was, you know, away with her girlfriends. I don't want to be hounding her and shit. And then finally she hits me back. We start talking, and she doesn't say anything about it. And I don't say anything at first, but then finally I was like, yo, did you get that thing that I sent you? She's like, oh yeah, oh my God. She was like,
you should have never brought yourself down there, ask if she got it.
She played the whole, I was caught up and this and that. And I was like,
that's the same thing you did.
I was like, well, this was a different person. But I was
like, what I'm saying.
Well, never again.
I send it. Yeah, I send it,
over.
and you
don't dare to ask, because it's over. Like, no, don't be like that. I was like, no. It is a wrap. Never.
You know the other thing is too is like, you know yourself, right? So you know you wouldn't do any like scumbag shit in terms of like sending it to like
sharing
other
it
people. Yeah, sharing it, but using it for something else. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
You know you're not gonna do that.
Yes,
but you can never.
But that did creep into my mind too.
But that's what I'm saying.
What did?
That they would share it.
That maybe this is become a topic of conversation. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Your mind starts to race, right? Like I'm sitting there waiting on the response, and like all my insecurities are climbing up my back.
Yeah, because it's like you know like what your ethics are, your code is, and you know what you do and wouldn't do and all that shit, but you don't know what the other person is up to. Yeah. So even though like you know everybody fancies themselves as a good judge of character when it comes to the people they're interacting with, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know that person. You know what I'm saying? Like there's obviously there's people that you know or whatever. That's something different. But like you have your standards. You know that you're gonna do or not do something, but you can't fully confide like in somebody else, like having those same standards. So that's I think that's what makes it harder. Like the going back and forth.
Yeah, and I think one of the other problems was that the nude that I sent was like from the back. It was mad weird.
Oh, really?
But, no, it wasn't. That was just me getting ready to go to break.
Fred?
All right, let's take a quick break.
I was going to get it back.
Wait, what happened? No, go ahead. What happened?
This nigga was doing the Kyle Lowry, Miami Heat poster for when he had all.
You're doing the Ezekiel.
All you see is my whole back and just the half of my face and just the shame that's just shadowing over my face like a fucking shame eclipse.
Yo, shame eclipse.
All right, but let's take a quick break. I see we have a little bit of glitching in the stream, so I'll try to fix that during the break. And when we come back, we will obviously get into the Jets and the Hard Knocks situation.
Yeah, you can't hear my fan, huh?
No.
Champion, they trying to feel the ambience. Never seen nothing quite like the aliens. I'm a call the alliance, you call the ambulance. Before they even show up, your soul will start vanishing. Lost a lot through gambling with the odds, I'm addicted. You wanna take a look through my eyes, got you twisted. I'm sick and vicious, make a bloody Christmas. I love where I'm from, but I ain't riding through the trenches. A lot of stupid bitches like to make a lot of shit up. I hate to be the one to tell you, gang, you gotta give up. Writing on the wall like I ain't got no home training. Throw my name into your mouth, I'm spraying red, no paying, no waiting for my mans to show up, cause I'ma handle mine. Shit about to blow any second, like I stand on mine. Spin your body round 100 times before I let you breathe. Lock the door, shut the lights, I can't let you leave.
Hey, yo, Element, what's good, God? These fucking streets got a nigga going crazy, It's like a house of screams, done. Yeah. Hey, yo, I'm way much chiller than most. I ain't frontin' at all. I'm flirting with maintaining and broke. But who you know that's iller with words? Yeah, clearly disturbed. That really actually dealt with some coke. Elmhurst where they murdering folk. 15 years later and I'm still here serving you dope. Only now it's informants of mean bars. It's cream, but some are more chasing that green card. It's Queen's Guard. Better learn how to think fast. These bitch ass niggas that's off to some bitch ass. Assault them, throw salt in their wounds. That's deeper than watching loved ones cook boy in the spoon. This for young boys locked in a room. Group homes, no visits, turn vicious, feel alive in the tomb. Young guys watch most of them coons. Yeah, they lying they zooms. A loot of life they ain't never consumed. For my niggas gonna light it up. I provide a feeling one can only get while being cuffed on the Rikers bus. Whole killers say they side with us. We keep a bag of iron sticks like we play for the Riders Cup. Queens and Philly once again, what can fuck with us? Queens and Philly once again, what can fuck with us? I'm trying to tell them, done. I hear them screams, man. Ain't nobody gonna help you out of that one, son. You gotta find your own way, done. Yeah? Queen, Philly.
Fresh champion, they trying to feel the ambience. Never seen nothing quite like the aliens. I'ma call the alliance, you call the ambulance. Before they even show up, your soul will start vanishing. Lost a lot through gambling with the odds, I'm addicted. You wanna take a look through my eyes, got you twisted. I'm sick and vicious, make a bloody Christmas. I love where I'm from, but I ain't riding through the trenches. A lot of stupid bitches like to make a lot of shit up. I hate to be the one to tell you, gang, you gotta give up. Writing on the wall like I ain't got no home training. Throw my name into your mouth, I'm spraying red, no paying. No waiting for my mans to show up, cause I'ma handle mine. Shit about to blow any second, like I stand on mine. Spin your body round 100 times before I let you breathe. Lock the door, shut the lights, I can't let you leave.
And we are back. Thank you for humoring our discussion and my learning and insecurity quelling conversation about nudes. We will continue this conversation at a later date, hopefully with a female perspective, which is obviously crucial in matters.
That'd be dope. Yeah,
matters such as these.
Because what the hell do we know?
Well, yeah, exactly. And I can't ask.
I would love to.
The young lady who is the
of course,
the culprit.
Let me tell you what women like.
I would love to hear her take on my take about the 3 other guys in line.
I'm sure there will be a staunch denial, but we never know. We'll see. But so
Yeah, volume shooter.
So that that's actually smart, to be honest. It's actually not. I can't say that I mean, obviously it depends on the circumstance, but I can't say that I hate on it. But so
depends on the circumcision.
Exactly. Oh. that was
hard.
So we finally had our first. We finally had the first episode of Hard Knocks on HBO or HBO Max or Cinemax. I don't know what it even counts as anymore because I don't have cable, but it's on Max. But we had Hard Knocks. The New York Jets are featured on the show, so I guess we should start out with the perspective of the Mr. Jet himself. What whose jersey is that you're wearing?
B2K.
B2K.
Why would you do that?
Brees Hall.
Yeah, no. Why would you? Why would you name it? Why would you call him B2K?
Br-
Did you not want him to be
Brees
successful?
Brees
I know why.
2000. Wait, what was the one? Who was in B2K?
I
Oh,
think
don't do that.
Omarion,
Yeah.
Marquise
Is it-
Houston, I think was part of that.
See,
No.
is
Was he? No, I think he was.
Brees is
No?
gonna run for a Marion Yards.
Damn,
this
there's
year.
another
Oh,
reason
okay.
why we need a female perspective. I bet you they would know who's in B2K.
The female that I want on
of
the
a
show.
of a certain generation though, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah, word.
Wait, let me
Yeah,
see.
nah,
Here we go. Oh my God, we were dead. Or I was dead wrong.
It wasn't Omarion. I thought
B2K
Omarion.
members consisted of Lil Fizz, J
Oh my
Hoog,
God.
Raz B, and Omarion.
Oh, so
it
we
was
got
Omarion
Omarion,
was
right?
one. I don't know why I thought it was Marquise Houston. He was in
Marquise.
Sister.
Yeah.
So B2K is the jersey, and your
Ugh,
thoughts
don't
on
do that.
episode 1 of Hard Knocks?
Oh, first of all, I gotta offer you an apology.
Who?
It's the first time for
For
Who? For who? H?
Robert.
Ooh. I want to hear that.
H-
this is
The
this is a
HBO,
moment.
the Hard Knocks. Wow, One Jet Drive is great. The HBO Hard Knocks does add a significant level of gravitas to where it makes it feel bigger than the Jets. So
Definitely.
I'd like to offer my
Wow.
apology for doubting. And it just shows you the type of person that I am. If I'm wrong, if I don't apologize, if I don't apologize, it's because I'm not wrong. But when I am wrong, I could. Nobody asked me for an apology. Came here and offered it.
I know. This is like a nude. It's like on
Yeah.
Like an Aaron Rodgers movie.
This is uncharted territory. Uncharted.
yeah, it's
territory.
uncharted. Like me, like an idiot. I thought it was uncharted.
Hey, you might be right.
One day
You
I'll
might
learn.
be right.
What the hell do I
One day
know?
I'll learn how to speak
You
English.
should definitely look that up. But anyway,
Yeah, it was good. That opening. I mean, that Robert Saleh. This shit was bars, man. Come on, like there's no better way to start. No better way to
What was
start.
it? The eagle and the crow.
The eagle is just like,
That was great.
and it's crazy. It's crazy because it hits even harder for me because I stumbled upon like on YouTube. I don't know why, but I stumbled upon like in California they had this like this YouTube stream. It was a live stream, 24 hours a day, every single day, and it was an eagle's nest in California, like in like up in the mountains of California or whatever, and like a couple of weeks into watching it, like there was like like under it, there's a stream. Usually nothing is happening. And then under it, like, when it shows you like the YouTube videos under, it was like, it showed like a little thing where it said like, oh, the Eagles fight the crows away or something like that. I clicked on it and it was, this crow tried to come in and, because they had eggs. So one would leave, one eagle would leave, the other one would stay there. The other one would come back. The other one would leave. It was 24 hours a day shit. I was like, bird like. And then, like, after a while, like, I was like, oh, let me check in on them. And I click on the link, and it's the YouTube stream, and there's nothing there. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened? Why are these? Like, I went on multiple days, and the shits weren't there. And then, like, I got back, like I hit return, and then I went to see like the YouTube, and obviously it had the like little highlights because there's other people following this, and it showed the Ravens got the eggs, and they must have both been out. The Ravens just like kept circling, like because they would come back every once in a while. They would fight them off, and the Ravens came in and destroyed the eggs, ate all the shit. open them up and all that, and the Eagles never came back, man.
Wow.
Sad story. Luckily,
That was a
now
great
if they
story.
you know what, if they would have done what Robert Saleh said to do, where instead of just fighting them off, to start flying high up in the
The X
sky.
can't fly.
No, but it was the Eagles. They got caught slipping. That's why they went away. They thought that they got they thought that they shook up all the crows. You know what I'm saying? They thought that they got them away because they fought them off.
Nope.
They was just they were lurking, and they got them. They should have done. They should have done what Robert Saleh said. Just go up there, make sure they fall flat. Crow, never more. You know what I'm saying?
Like who is that? Not Van Gogh.
Edgar
Allan
Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was great. I mean, it's what we're gonna see from that. But it did, it gave it that extra level of like they are likable. They're not like the hated team. Like, people are piling on, trying to hate on them, and Aaron Rodgers said like he demands all this. Like we heard forever that he doesn't, he never helped Jordan Love. That he's hard to get along with, and it's like you kind of see like that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously he might be playing a little bit to the camera, but you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't fake. We would have seen if it was fake. You know what I'm saying? Like we would have felt the fakeness, but it came off natural. Like all the players seemed to be behind him. You saw my boy Zach Attack in the cut.
Oh, he's your boy again now?
Oh, he's back?
Wow.
Well, I mean, he's not back. He's in the back.
He's in the back. Gotcha.
Yeah, Zach Attack is in the back.
I wasn't focused on the names. I was just focused on my boy Zach. I thought I heard my boy Zach.
Yeah,
my boy Zach his attack is reserved.
His attack is attack. He has to do like in the video games where you like you get enough hits to where you get your attack back. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the special move back. But like, obviously the first episode is set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of give the major voices, but there'll be some characters slipping in there. There's really not much to gather. It's like it's basically just setting the tone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Word Life, what were your thoughts?
So I have mixed feelings because first of all, I heard a review. No, how you gonna say shocker to me? I've been supportive.
This is what he does. You just gotta. I learned last year. You just gotta take. You keep the shield up and take the slings and arrows.
So, I've heard that fucking speech on fucking social media, like under like the motivation videos for like months. So I like that
speech.
Yeah, the same Saleh speech.
Oh wow.
So let me rewind. So I heard a review of Hard Knocks already because I saw it the day after. So my expectation was a little high, and I made the mistake like I kind of do with movies, where if I get a high expectation or a recommendation from somebody, my expectation is through the roof, and then it never lives up to it. But I'm just excited to see Rodgers and everything. So it kind of balanced it out. But the first thing that fucked with me was the speech, because again, like I follow the motivation shit, and sometimes like the motivation speeches, like you're like, oh, again, like the same one.
Yeah.
I've heard this one for like I think within the span of like 4 months, I've heard it here and there. So it's like I'm in my head. I'm like, I know Saleh didn't get this shit from the motivation.
You heard it how? Not from Saleh. You've heard somebody else.
Yeah. Like it's a thing.
Oh
like,
wow! So he ripped that speech off.
I don't know if he did. I don't know if he heard the story. If he heard that one day when he was
that's a scandal.
Working out, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just. It's like
I think that's what you're supposed to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. But for me, like for example, what's a cliche that people use like motivation, like Oh,
You play to
play
win the
It's
game.
not
hard,
about how
play
hard.
hard,
It's
win
not
hard,
it's
whatever.
not the dog in the
Yeah.
fight. It's the fight in the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
And you hear that shit, and you're like, and then you hear it on, you hear the first thing on Hard Knocks. You're kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of took a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, the energy off. But I gave it the benefit of the doubt because I don't think everybody heard it. You know what I'm saying? I did, and I don't think everybody did. But maybe that's a little loud. But maybe
It's a little
Maybe
loud
the
and
kid-
annoying.
maybe the kids did. Maybe the teammates did. I don't know. Maybe the kids did hear it because I did see some faces in there. Like some were motivated, but then some were like kids in the back. You know what I mean? Like, so that was my real only knock. But I love seeing Aaron Rodgers come out. I loved when he came out and everybody was cheering. Like it's so natural to him. You know what I'm saying? He loves it. The spotlight feels good. It don't feel like he's, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to reach for it. It's like it's there and he knows how to act. You know what I'm saying? So I really like that. I didn't like. This is another thing that stood out. The 1v1 with Wilson and Sauce.
yeah.
Sauce gets him on Sauce gets him on a majority of the shit. Wilson gets him on a slant. Feel me? Like don't use that as a highlight. Like if I'm Wilson, if I'm Sauce, I'm like, yo, don't use that, bro. He took a fucking one step in and he slanted in and he caught the ball. That's not a highlight. Don't put that as a highlight. And I would have tackled him right then. And then the other one is when he did beat him on the fly, but he didn't even catch the ball. So they try. I feel like Sauce. If I'm Sauce, I would be tight. Like don't make it seem like it's closer than it really is. Like, bro, he caught a slant and he beat me on a fly that he didn't even catch the ball. So, and Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, didn't throw it to him. So don't make it seem like, you know what I'm saying? Like
There's no points being awarded.
I know, but still, like if you wouldn't be like, don't sell me that. Like he didn't get.
He
didn't get me on the.
I don't think he cares, man.
Who?
Sauce. Like
I get it.
All right. Listen,
You know what I'm
both
saying?
of
Like-
y'all are talking about all the non-important things about
Okay,
it. Did
okay,
you
what
even
is
watch
important?
it?
Me, yeah.
Okay, first of all, you bring up Sauce, you bring up Rodgers, and you don't bring up this.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You don't bring that up. That was to me the most important part of the show.
I mean,
That
I've
was
seen that for a
crazy.
while.
The
though.
second most
Yeah, I
important
never
part
seen
of the
it.
show was coochie boards.
The charcuterie boards. Charcuterie
Coochie
boards.
boards. This nigga said coochie boards. He said he's gonna eat a coochie board. It was amazing. That was the
amazing.
highlight of the show.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. It was,
But
you know,
the one thing that I didn't love, and I have to be honest, I have to keep it real. You know, Salah's my guy. I didn't like how he came off.
The first one, the first
I
speech?
thought he came off a little. I don't know if he was nervous or he was a little awkward or uncomfortable in the setting, but he came across a little goofy to me. I felt like he came off a little goofy, like when they asked him, or when he was talking, when he said to Rodgers in the headset, you got to get used to it. I'm a little negative. Like that seemed mad goofy and corny to me. And there was a couple of other times where it just, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling Salah at all. I'm waiting to see, and this was the other thing I didn't love about it was that, and I know this is probably gonna make me seem like a hater, but it is what it is. I'm gonna keep it real. It was way too much Aaron Rodgers. Way too much Aaron Rodgers. It's supposed to be, Hard Knocks is supposed to be about training camp. And there was so little about training camp. Like, Hard Knocks is supposed to be, you see how they're living, you see what they're bringing to camp, you see dudes bring, they like, you see them wheeling in the like the carry-on luggage type joints, and you see what they bring. Some dudes bring whatever shit for music, some dudes bring whatever their workout shit that they need, or supplements, or fucking drinks, whatever the case may be. Like the whole point is to give you insight into what the players' camp experience is supposed to be, and it was just the Aaron Rodgers show, and I was just like, like I knew it was gonna be a lot of Rodgers, and that was cool. And I thought that his parts were good, and I thought he came off looking good in the show. But where's the training camp? It's supposed to be Hard Knocks training camp with the Jets, and there was very little training camp. You did that whole thing with the preseason game, which I hate when I feel like they should show minimal preseason games during Hard Knocks. And if they're gonna show, like, what I like about Hard Knocks is when they show the training camp and you show some of these dudes that's trying to make the roster or trying to have some type of a goal in camp. And then they, if the coach is coaching them up to correct a certain behavior or correct a certain mistake they're making or trying to get them to do something, or there's a battle between two dudes in a position and you're trying to see who's going to win. Then when they show the games and they show how it's playing out, then to me that's relevant and that's a reason to show the games. Yeah. But besides that, to just show the game, like, it was whack. I got no insight into the training camp dynamic with the Jets. I got no insight into any kind of, they didn't talk at all about Mekhi Becton. Now listen, maybe they'll get into that with future episodes. But there's significant things going on in camp that are going to dictate what happens with the Jets this season. And they didn't show any of it. And it's not like it's stuff. It's not like it's stuff that makes the team look bad, that the team wouldn't want to, wouldn't want to write it, and wouldn't want to give the rights to show it in the show. Like every Hard Knocks, like when there's position, camp battles when it comes to positions, or dudes that's trying to make the team, or dudes that's coming back from an injury, whatever the case may be. How do we not see Breece Hall once?
That's a great point.
It's a major factor of what's going to happen with the Jets this coming year. They didn't talk about Breece Hall. There was no running back conversation. There was no conversation about Dalvin Cook. Nothing. They didn't talk about anything regarding the Jets and their whole training camp experience and how it's going to translate to the season. It was the Aaron Rodgers show. That was it.
Yeah,
and I didn't love.
But see, the thing is, it's a great point, but I mean that's why they wanted the Jets because of Aaron Rodgers, they did all this stuff, and it's like they did a little bit on Zach Wilson or whatever. He's the only one who really played, of the people that were people that were
Zach Wilson too, very little.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's
because I didn't think that they were gonna go to, because the only real conversation to be had about Zach Wilson has to come with the backstory that is not very flattering. So I understood that there's not really much to be said there, because Zach Wilson he's still on the team. Zach Wilson literally has to be the least relevant thing on the Jets this coming season. Mm-hmm. Like, if he's the more relevant Zach Wilson is to the 2023-2024 Jets, the worse their season's gonna be. So I understand why you're not gonna highlight Zach Wilson, because there's really not a story there. It's very rare that you highlight the backup quarterbacks in Hard Knocks unless you're talking about just what their family life is like. Usually when they do a Hard Knocks, it's some fringe guy, it's some fringe either veteran or a young guy that's just trying to make the team, but it's never, a guy who has such a high profile kind of fall from grace like they did last season. So I understand that they're not going to want to, there's not really much of a good story to be told there when it comes to Zach Wilson. But I got no Breece Hall. I got very little Garrett Wilson. I got very little Sauce Gardner. It was just Aaron Rodgers, and there was very little about the Jets. I got hardly any Salah. I mean, they talked a little bit about the whole Nate Hackett thing. They used that whole pylon toss game that they were playing as like a bridge to get into the Nate Hackett Sean Payton conversation, which was moderately interesting. But I just felt I'm hoping that in the future, I'm hoping that they really wanted to pump the Aaron Rodgers in episode 1 to try to get people excited, and then maybe they get into the more of the nuts and bolts in future episodes. But from the first episode perspective, it just wasn't the Hard Knocks that I'm used to, where they kind of document the training camp of the team, and it doesn't matter. They've had many high profile superstar quarterbacks on Hard Knocks in the past. but regardless, they always the format seems to remain the same in terms of they always kind of document training camp and they go week by week. That's why it's 5 weeks long, and then they do pretty much like a lead up to every single, like usually every episode ends with that week's preseason game, and they usually talk about how, you know, how camp is going for certain players, and then how the preseason game goes, and you know whatever, if it's a position battle or if it's a, you know what I'm saying, whatever, how that translates to the game and how you can kind of forecast how it's going to go when it comes to the end of training camp. And to me, this shit was not even, it wasn't even about training camp. Like, you wouldn't even know they was in training camp.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only difference there is, like, okay, this is like a rare situation where like nobody wanted to be on there.
Like,
right?
yo, even when they showed I'm sorry to interrupt you, but even when they show, because every Hard Knocks they go into every position meeting room and they show you this is what the linebackers are talking about, and it'll be, you know, some guy saying, oh, you missed the tackle, you missed this, or this linebacker is doing great, watch what he's doing, look at his technique. They go into, yo, even in the fucking meeting rooms, the linebacker meeting room, they're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Like, they didn't talk about linebackering at all.
Yeah, not like, but I don't know. I just think there's a couple things here, which is probably why they had to do it this way, specifically for like this first episode. Like, think about it. This, like, they started crazy late because nobody wanted to do it. So some of the backstory, maybe they didn't have enough time to kind of like situate some of the backstory. They were like, okay, let's give the people what they want. Aaron Rodgers. It's not very often where the team that's doing it is getting one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in that off season going into training camp. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's part of the reason why. I think those two reasons why they started late, and also one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time just so happens to be coming in the off season. So I think it's almost like, okay, we got to give the people, this is the biggest story in the NFL. We got to give the people what they want now, and also that they also have the fifth. They had the fourth preseason game, because you know what I'm saying. Like, it started last week and it already culminated in a game. Yeah. So it's not like they didn't have those 2 extra days of practice or whatever to where they can get additional film from. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think maybe that's it. We have to see. We got to see how the next episode is, like, to see like all of this other stuff with like this week, that the past week after coming off of that. But I just think, like, I can't. It was just like, we have to fill as much content as possible. And give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? And it's like too much going on. There was a lot going on because they had the extra game, Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's hard to fit that all in, and then having to move to the next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the next week's episode is this week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like,
I feel you. The only thing for me is that, like, obviously I knew there was going to be a ton of Aaron Rodgers. I get it. And you're right that, you know, it's a unique situation where they have this, they have Aaron Rodgers coming in. It's not, it's not every day that this is a very unique circumstance. But to me, there were plenty of opportunities to introduce us to somebody else, give us a little something on somebody else. Like, yo, Aaron Rodgers did not play it. Like, if you're gonna do the preseason game, which I don't even know. Like I said, I don't love that when they focus on the preseason games, especially when there's no correlation to the training camp. But if you're gonna do the preseason game, Aaron Rodgers didn't play in the preseason game. How is the whole preseason game about him too?
Yeah,
like, give me something. Give me a guy. Like, give me a guy that, maybe we're gonna be we're expecting big things from in the, in this coming season. Give me a defensive guy. Give me somebody. Like, they have a great defense. All of the whole season last year was about the defense. The only time they talked about the defense was Sauce Gardner and that one quick moment with the D lineman talking about coochie boards. That was it. There was no Quentin Williams. Was CJ Mosley even in it? Did he speak? Did his voice come through on the microphones?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, they gave you like they didn't even, like, yo, dead ass. If you didn't watch football last year, you would have no idea that the Jets have a good defense, because they didn't talk about the Jets defense at all. Like, you would have no idea what this Jets team is. All you would know is that the expectations are great because of Aaron Rodgers, not because Aaron Rodgers came to a great team, not because Aaron Rodgers came to a team that was a quarterback away and that had a good defense and that had a, obviously, like I said, I didn't expect them to talk about last year in terms of Zach Wilson and just bury the kid. But you could have talked about last year and how well the defense played and how they beat the division winners. They beat them head up even without having Aaron. Like, there was so much that could have been said about as a Jets fan, I would have been offended because I'm like, yo, there was so much more to the Jets team than just Aaron Rodgers coming. Like, there was plenty. Like, I get that it was gonna be about Aaron Rodgers, but there was space to show the Jets a little love, show the team from last year a little bit of love, show the defense a little bit of love. Like, I just felt like it was a little too much. Like, you could have gave us all the Aaron Rodgers, but you could have also gave a little bit of space for a little bit more of the defense, because the Jets team that's a defensive team. And if you didn't know about football and you're just coming in to watch, you're thinking, oh wow, thank God the Jets got Aaron Rodgers. You wouldn't know anything about the defense. You wouldn't know shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you said. I'm just trying to go through in their heads. Like, we're gonna see, because if they keep up with the Aaron Rodgers, it's just gonna be old and played out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's all they were able to scramble to get. You know what I'm saying? And start, because maybe, like I said, since they started it late, all the cameras were in late. Maybe they had to use all that other shit that was around to kind of fill in the beginning of the episode and kind of build that up.
They even used the Jets' social media footage of when Rodgers first arrived to the facility, because they hadn't agreed to that wasn't Hard Knocks cameras
that's what I'm saying. I think it was just rushed.
And I get that, but like that, to me, that's even more reason why you could have used kind of talking about the previous season as filler, as a setup for the next upcoming episodes of Hard Knocks. And you could have talked a little bit more about last season and the defense that they had, and these motherfuckers had the first time ever both the offensive and defensive rookie of the year, and they talked about it just quick, like it was nothing, like it's commonplace. Like, they didn't talk about last year's Jets at all. Like, that was the only thing. Like, and like I said, I get what you're saying, and I know that they're giving the people what they want. I'm just saying, I just felt like it was super lazily done as far as, okay, let's just make this whole episode about Aaron Rodgers, when there's more to the Jets than that, and they could have shown them, they could have highlighted more of that, at least somewhere. I feel like there was ample spots to do it. It's a fucking hour-long show. They did all that shit about the preseason game, and it's about Rodgers in the preseason game. We didn't play.
They should have extended the episode if that's what they wanted to do, because of the build up to this season. Give the people 15, 20 more minutes. One thing. Two, remember that the ownership with the Discovery or whatever, with the HBO stuff like it. You don't know what, you don't know how, if anybody was let go, any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of production. So I don't know. Maybe maybe the whole product is watered down because of of the sale or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Let's give them one more episode and we'll see. It's corn.
It was well done. I just felt like
it was well done, but
way better.
Yeah, because it's corny. It's like, oh yeah, Aaron Rodgers. It's like, at what point do they realize it's like, okay, enough with this Aaron Rodgers thing. We've been talking about Aaron Rodgers on the Jets 2 months before he was even on the Jets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
and I also felt like even the Aaron Rodgers shit that they gave us, they didn't give us anything interesting about Aaron Rodgers. And I understand they're not going to talk about they're not going to get into fucking darkness retreats and all that shit. Maybe they don't want to get into that shit, but take me to Aaron Rodgers' crib. Where's he living at now? Because they do that shit in Hard Knocks. They take you to the guys. They show you their home life. You know what I'm saying? I just felt it was just so lazily put together. I felt like.
the reason I said that's a good point because I while it was happening, I was saying those things like certain things that you're saying,
Yeah.
and that's why I said such a good points. Like because I forgot what I was like those little details things that I was thinking at the time. But I think we kind of touched on it already. It has to I think the period of time usually by now they're already there. They probably got more footage at that point in time. Like even the voice of God, like I feel like they prolonged that.
They get, yeah,
But
they
that's the other
that
thing. They
that's
had
a,
enough time to fucking arrange for this dude
It
to
had a
fly in a
long
chopper and
time.
all this
Yeah,
bullshit. Like,
it was too
but
much.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think that that's part of the reason. Like, they didn't have, they didn't have all that footage.
That's what I'm saying. So I
You know
but
what I'm
did
saying?
we need Liev Schreiber flying in a chopper episode 1?
nah.
That could have been episode 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do we need
No,
that
but I'm
to
Oh,
saying
take
like,
up time?
extra footage at the end of
yeah,
the
I think
season.
all they do. I think what they're doing is they used most of the filler,
Mhm.
like all of that other shit, most of the filler for the opening of the season, and now like maybe they hopefully they get more into the nitty gritty of the actual
Yeah.
team, the team dynamics,
I
because
think
like
that's.
yo, this
I
is
think 100% was gonna happen. I
yeah,
think.
because
Right.
it's like that's what you know what I'm saying. It's like people be disappointed, like everybody's tuning in to see Aaron Rodgers. You know how people are. People don't really, people don't really care about the people watching this. It's like, for example, like what I said with the one jet strap. Like fans watch that because we know the players or whatever. Like the other people that are coming in to watch this, like we have to give them what they want because everybody's coming to go see Rodgers. So it's like, hopefully, okay, we gave you Rodgers. Hopefully, this is the case. We gave you Rodgers. This was the story of the offseason. We were able to get a lot of footage, like borrowed from other places, kind of put it together. We filled this up. We did our hour. Boom. Now we can start doing now that we've been there for a couple weeks, we could do the lead-in story, like, do the footage of Bam Knight or whatever, like last year, and he was undrafted, and what the type of work that he put in on the off season, and now he's coming back and he looks good in camp. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe there wasn't enough time
It definitely
for them
wasn't
to
enough
establish those little stories, because then it would have looked even more rushed, and it would have almost been like you're just like, oh yeah, and then there's this guy, and then Will McDonald. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe they were doing it out of respect. I don't know yet. We have to wait. That's why we have to wait and see. But I'm just like like speculating on that like that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. I think that's exactly what it is, and also the fact that they let up the season, like all that shit goes into account. I think I'm not afraid of
They
it at
didn't
all. I
even
think
say that.
well,
They didn't even mention that was the first preseason game. Seriously, they didn't even
I'm
mention
gonna
it.
watch it again. I'm actually gonna watch it tonight with my
Like
son.
that was the thing that like I said, like I feel you, and I'm not trying to kill it. I'm not saying that it was terrible, whatever. I'm just saying.
Don't you dare kill it. You're the one who was talking.
And the other
You're
thing
the
is
one
that I
who said
hold
this is the greatest thing.
HBO to a high standard. They usually do this stuff well. You know what I'm saying? They're not usually the ones that are we got to give the people what they want. They are usually the ones that, you know what I mean? I've watched Hard Knocks for years. And it's like they're the ones that they do it right. They go into all the different, the things that they always find a good balance. They give you the superstars, like when they did the Raiders a couple years ago, they gave you all the craziness with Antonio Brown, but they also gave you Darren Waller, who ends up exploding into being a superstar tight end, and he was a complete unknown, and they were the first ones to kind of highlight him and introduce him to the public. So they always kind of find a way to do that balance. You know what I'm saying? This is not that's all I'm saying, is that I hold HBO to a high standard because they usually do it right. They usually are able to find that balance between highlighting the superstars. They do a little bit with the coach, You know, they find the people who are interesting. They dig deep into the rosters and they find the interesting, you know, they find the shit that the football fans would appreciate. They find the shit that the fans of the team would appreciate. And they find the shit that the casuals would appreciate. Like, they always are able to find that balance. That's why Hard Knocks is a great show. And I just felt like there was no balance there at all. And it wasn't even good Rodgers. Like, they could have done, they didn't even give you anything on, like you just finished saying, it was a whole month long, you know, such a long process from him leaving Green Bay and, you know, the McAfee show and all. They didn't give you anything on him getting there. It's just, oh, we got him, he's here. There was nothing about the trade. There was nothing about, you know, the negotiations. There was nothing. Like, it was just very, very surface,
now you're right,
lazily put together. And like, I'm like, yo, if you're gonna do all Rodgers, it could have been done better. It could have been done, you could have gave me something more. You know what I mean? It just felt real lazy to me. And I was like, you know, I understand, like, I always learn something in Hard Knocks. Like, there's always something that I'm like, oh, I didn't know about that, or I find this guy interesting that I didn't know about before. But to me, they didn't give you really anything insightful at all. And I was just surprised, because I was like, this is not the Hard Knocks that I'm used to. That's all I'm saying. Like, they usually would give me something that I didn't like. They would have gave me some detail or aspect of the whole trade negotiation and the whole, you know, something on the rift, you know, the rift between him and Green Bay and leaving Green Bay. Because even when Antonio Brown came from the Raiders, they gave you Antonio Brown with the Steelers, and they talked a little bit about his exit there.
Yeah, they usually do that. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? And like, they just didn't give you shit.
I wonder how much of that was right.
But I think that's part of the problem. Like, that, you know, that whole saga, they weren't there for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the Antonio Brown shit, that
They
shit
don't
was
need
like,
to be there. That was well documented. I'm
No,
not taking as an excuse. That was well
Yeah, but-
documented.
but
I understand
also-
they weren't
but-
there, but that was well documented. They could have.
Yeah, but
touched
what I'm
on it.
saying
they didn't
is-
even touch it.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, like, then they would have ended up just doing more borrowed footage and like more borrowed stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But that's my point, is that if you're gonna say that they didn't have enough time, all they had was borrowed footage. They didn't even use good borrowed footage. They didn't even tell the full story with the borrowed footage, is what I'm saying. Like, listen, I get it. I get what you're saying, and, you know, like, whatever it was, you know, if it was time constraints, if whatever the case may be, I feel you. I'm just saying that, like, while everybody is all, you know, taking the good things from it, and like, I get it, there was a lot of entertainment there. I just personally, as a fan of the show and as somebody who's watched the show many, many years, and like, it just was not up to the standards of the past Hard Knocks to me at all. And I was especially disappointed because this is a far more interesting team with far more interesting layers to it, to every different story. Like, the Zach Wilson story has way more layers than, like, last year they were able to make the fucking Lions interesting. And going into last season, there was nothing interesting about the Lions, but they gave you a little bit of everything. They gave you Aaron Glenn as the you know, former Patriot defensive coordinator.
Former Jet.
I mean, I don't know that his Jets years are going up in the Hall of Fame anytime soon, but, you know, yeah. But they gave you something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like this whole thing was just, and it also felt like it just was, I don't know, like, that's all I'm saying. Like, we'll see how it goes. We'll see where it goes for the next couple of weeks or whatever. I'm hoping that they improve upon it, but I just felt like there was so much more there that it really, to me, I don't feel like it would have taken too much to give a little bit more backstory to different things. That there was a lot there that I felt like was just left on the cutting room table for what? To show Aaron Rodgers during the blackout, to show him and hack, like, for what? There was a lot of shit there that was just like, I don't need this. Like, there's so much there's so much more to the Jets 2023-2024 story that just they didn't even lay a foundation for it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Speaking of stuff I don't want to see, I don't need to see. Why is there a twin cast during the Patriots game with the McCourty twins?
Oh, they're playing right now?
I don't know why are you watching the Patriots preseason game?
No, it's on NFL Network.
Spying on them.
Is it Spygate?
Giants Friday.
Also,
Woo, woo, woo.
yo, imagine being the ugly twin.
I'm the
Like-
ugly twin. Of course, I know exactly what.
No,
That's
no, 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 no.
like. I know
no, like-
exactly what that's like.
No, the actual twin at like, because when you the McCourty twins, right? You
Yeah.
thought that you think that they look exactly the same,
But they
right?
don't.
When they put them side to side, it's very clear that one is the ugly twin and one is the handsome twin.
I'm
I
thinking
don't know
about my
which one's
cousins.
which.
I'm thinking about my cousins, Abraham and Christian.
Yeah, but
I
they're
guess there
exactly
is
the
an ugly
same.
one, but I don't know. Nah, there's like, but they're both good looking in their own way though. So I don't know. I can't say that the one's the ugly twin and one's not. But
Like, because I think it's. I don't even know which one. Jason
and they're
McCourty.
identical, right? McCourty, they're just like the twins.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah,
gonna
but the
ask that.
other-
Are they identical? I think
One,
they are.
yo,
right?
if you see a
It's
side by side, one that has like his jaw comes out like that, he looks like he's strange looking. I mean, granted,
Which
like
one?
that's what when they
The
put him
ugly
back
one.
up, yeah, the ugly one has a jaw that comes up and it pushes his like back jaw forward, so he kind of looks like I don't know. It's strange. If you see it, it's hard to explain. If you see it,
It's weird
and
how
I'll
I
know
don't
which one's which.
remember. I can't remember their careers. Like
Remember they
Devin
were on that
Devin was a
commercial?
career Patriot, right?
Not career, no. Was it?
Because Jason
No.
Jason was with the. I know he was with the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
I
think you're-
thought Devin was. I mean, he might have had a stop late in his, but I thought Devin was all. I don't know. I get confused. I know they both
Yeah.
were Patriots at some point, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But Jason,
yeah.
I think, started with the Titans, right? Or did he start with the Patriots and then go to the Titans? I can't remember.
I don't know which
Did
one.
he go? Did he start with the Patriots go to
No.
and then go back?
Because remember,
I think that might have been.
were they both on the Titans though?
I don't think
'Cause
so.
re-
I think it was just.
Because
Jason.
remember
I
the
think it was
commercial? Was it Old Spice or was it Right Guard or something like that, where they were catching cheerleaders coming out of the air?
No,
Well, one was
but
a
that sounds
DB.
Awesome.
One was a cornerback and one was a safety, right?
Yes.
Always.
Well,
Yeah.
I think yes, but I think that I think Jason started as a corner and maybe I think he converted to safety when he
I
went
think
to,
so,
to the Patriots.
Patriots.
Late in
Yeah.
his
He was
career.
definitely in the Titans. Did neither one were in the Lions though?
Jason McCourty is the good looking.
Okay.
And he's the younger one. Which is the one that retired last? That was Jason, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because he was the one. He was on the NFL Network last year.
Okay, so I got Jason here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years with the Titans, then 1 year with Cleveland,
There you go.
and then 3 years with New England, and then last season with Miami.
Mm.
His last season, not last season.
Yeah, his last.
Yeah, his last season.
Okay, no, because I heard last season, but
Yeah.
he didn't play last season.
No, I know. Yeah, his last season was with Miami, and then his brother.
His brother's all Patriots.
That's what I'm saying. I thought he was
Oh,
career
so
Patriot.
he was the one. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're right.
Yeah, so his brother was career Patriot. That was what I thought. His brother was career Patriot, and he was.
And he's the one who
Titan
He's the one who benefited from Jason McCourty being good because he came out the next year, and I think Jason was a third or fifth round pick. I'm not sure, and Devin was a first round pick.
So Devin retired after Jason.
He retired this season.
Oh, okay. So that's where I got confused because I remember Jason Titan, Devin Patriot, but when Jason left the Titans and came to the Patriots, I thought his brother Devin retired first.
No.
That's crazy that Devin stayed with the Patriots the whole time. Jason came and left and bounced and retired.
Mhm.
And was and was still the better looking one. Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And now he's getting him on TV. He got him drafted higher in the draft.
Is he the one that does that terrible ooh wee segment?
Yes.
Oh Lord, have mercy. That's Jason, right?
Ooh-wee.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Jason.
No. He just became the uglier one. I'm sorry. I don't care what his
No.
face looks like. He's uglier when he does that ooh wee segment. That shit is awful.
I mean, I told you how.
No, you were the one that introduced me to it. That was, oh my God, it was horrendous.
Sorry for that, by the way.
Yeah, because I don't get NFL Network, so I'm not really up on much of anything that goes on with NFL Network.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was, oh man, horrendous.
Hey, that Patriots game, it's where is it at?
It's fucking
Like how far into the game?
Third quarter.
Oh, okay. So there's no point of watching now.
All right, so closing out, we have a movie review, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. I can't tell you how perfect that fucking is. I mean,
I know. That's why I just smile when I hear it.
Like did you pick like song, like what would be the best song, and like pick like it almost feels like you had a whole team behind that.
I mean,
No, all kidding aside, I don't.
For real.
I think I don't even
Was it
remember.
just so
I feel like it just
lights, camera,
hit.
action, cheeks.
No, yeah,
Queens.
it really did all just come together. But I feel like I feel like it all just came together so well that was why it just popped into my head. Like I was trying to think,
Queens.
what song should I use?
It's like, of course.
And I was and it was kind of easy because I was thinking like my first thought was song titles that connote movies. And then that's not a real long list. So the first thing, like one of the first songs that came to mind was Lights, Camera, Action. I was like, oh shit, this is perfect.
Perfect. It's Queens. I mean, every aspect. Like, and it's so funny because now every time I hear that song, I think about the three times I hung out with him, and it's fucking. He's such a real G. It's crazy.
Now, do you think now? Unfortunately, what I think about now is that sad performance that's on YouTube that I saw. That just
you told me.
Made me sad. But all right, so what are we reviewing this week?
All right, so I want to introduce the new rating system because there was a lot of misconfusion and things of that nature. So the rating is now fitteds and do-rags. Okay. So every so like for example, if it's a 1, if I give it a 1 fitted, right? That's the point is 1. The 2 do-rags is basically 0.5. So it's so two do-rags is as high as you can get.
It's simple at all.
I know. I'm sorry. It's not simple. It's just cooler because I want the do-rag. Like it just sounds cool to say.
Okay, so we have no more snapbacks, no more visors, just fitteds and do-rags.
It's just fitteds and do-rags. Yep.
Okay, so a fitted is 1 unit.
It's 1 unit.
And a do-rag is what? How much is a half a unit?
I guess you could say half, but 2.
That's not what I say. It's what you.
So let me
telling
let me
us.
just say like this. So a fitted and 2 do-rags is as high as you can get before you go to the next unit. Before you can go to the 2.
Wait, okay. I think I got it. So 2 do-rags is just short of a fitted.
Of
Now,
another, of
but
the
can
other
you do?
fitted.
But can you do 1 do-rag?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
They're
It's like
almost
a, you know,
they're
like
almost like 0.49. I feel like.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. It's almost like
exactly,
the Canadian conversion, like the monetary conversion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
like
like
the dollar.
It's like if you have what is it?
A euro. Like if you have a euro, you know, you need $1. You need $1 and some change to get to a euro. You know what I'm saying? Like you need more than 2 do-rag. Like you can't just get this fitted. You have 2 do-rags. You're gonna have to give me a little something extra for you to convert this into fitted.
Yep, I guess. Yep.
It's
okay,
perfect.
excellent.
It's like back in the day the trade bag. Remember the trade bag? Like
So you
like
can get 2 do-rags. And what's the highest rating? 5 fitteds?
5. Oh yeah, yep. 5 fitteds. Yep,
5 fitteds.
yep. 5 fitteds.
Because you could do if you get a 4.8, that's 4
If you-
fitteds.
if you get 4
that's
fitteds
4
and 2
fitteds and 2
do-rags.
do-rags.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Should I add? Oh, H froze.
Don't
Nah,
add
can
anything
you-
else.
No, I was deep in thought. So
Yeah,
wait,
that was
so
fire.
so, but the most do rags you can get is 2.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, I'm clear. I get it. I think I got it.
All right. So this week we're doing. So I gave you false advertisement. I wanted to do the Ninja Turtle movie. Things happened. I couldn't go to the Ninja Turtle movie, but I did see a Netflix movie that I really enjoyed, and it's called They Cloned Tyrone. Has anybody seen it?
No.
Clone
I've
Tyrone.
I've seen it up. Was that with
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Jamie Foxx. I thought
Yeah.
for some
Before
for
they
some
cloned
reason
Jamie. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so that's why. Wait, when they thought he was dead, they thought he was dead, and all of a sudden he popped up like nothing happened. You think that's what happened?
Like the Mar
I think this is before. I think this is before they cloned him and killed him. Yeah.
Also,
Wait,
they
so
didn't know what to do
Jamie
with
Foxx
Jamie
is
Foxx.
all right.
He's cloned. Well, he's not. His image is he's cloned. So I don't know what you want to call that. But anyway, let's get back to.
So okay, so that's what the extra X in Jamie Foxx is for
Now
that
it's
X
Jamie
chromosome.
Foxx. Now it's Jamie 3X.
Oh,
The clone version is Jamie Foxx with 3X.
I thought maybe that they used one of those X's to clone him.
Yeah.
You know, one of the chromosomes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I see that you're right. I think that's probably what.
So
it
it's
is.
Jamie 1 Fox.
Yes.
Ooh. I think it's Jamie 1 Fox and a Durag. I think.
FS1.
But anyway, so I'm gonna give this. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a dope movie. I forgot old boy's name. He was from. Ironically, he was on the Star Wars, the Attack of the Clones or whatever, the Emergence of the Clones or whatever the fuck. He was
The Spanish guy?
no the Morenito.
But I think he has a Spanish name.
Probably. That sounds about right. I think he's from Europe. I think he's a European actor, if I'm not mistaken.
Idris Elba.
No. He also had another Netflix movie. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's in the movie. He did a great job again. I think he's solid, bro. I think he's a solid actor, man. I would like to see him more in bigger.
Who, this guy who we don't know his name, or Jamie Foxx?
Yeah. No, the dude we don't know his name.
Okay.
Let me get it. You guys can get. Oh, you want it? Thank you.
John Boyega.
Boyega.
See,
Yeah.
I always
Boyega
he's
sounds like-
it's you know what it is in my head.
John
I read it as
Noriega?
Bodega. No, I read it as Bodega, so I think it's a Spanish last name, but
Yeah.
it has that
he's
clearly has
European.
nothing to do.
I think he's from London or overseas somewhere. Anyway,
Corner
he's a
store.
good actor, bro. Every time I see him, I've seen 3 movies of his, I think, and every time he has a solid performance. So he was really good. Jamie Foxx is, we already know he's a really good actor, and old girl was pretty good too. There was 3 main characters there, but my overall rating, I give it 4 fitteds, 4 flat. I really wanted to use the do-rag today, but I don't want to force it. It'll come. I'm sure there'll be movies that warrant the do-rags and the fitteds, or
It's
maybe
like the
just
fitted
do-rags.
with all the stickers on the stick.
So yeah, right. So anyway, it was a dope movie.
Oh, David Allen Greer's in it. Oh, I gotta see that.
Yeah, he is in it.
Now I gotta see it. I didn't know David Allen Greer.
Is that the old version of John Boyega? Because they kind of like thinking about it now. They kind of have that same square haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it almost looks like that they would have used him to
As the
show
old
him in
version.
the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a dope movie. It had a lot of like symbolism.
Wait,
or like
Paperboy's in this?
Who's Paperboy?
Paperboy is the
Paperboy?
one person I would thought you would know.
Paperboy. All about that Paperboy.
That's
You don't watch Atlanta?
Nah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in
okay.
it. He's in this movie.
Oh, is it?
I fuck with it. I fuck with him. Heavy.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's the man. He's in
he
the.
is. I would
Isn't
definitely-
he in one of the? He's in one of the Marvel joints. Now, right?
Eternals. The Eternals.
Who is he in the
I see
Eternals?
him here.
He's the fat black
He's
guy.
cast and they clone Tyrone.
I don't remember him in that movie.
The
Oh,
Eternals.
maybe he had a small pop up. Yeah.
Nah, I seen an action figure of him.
No, I'm not talking about. And I'm talking about in the they clone Tyrone.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, it was dope, man. It was a lot of like conspiracy theory kind of like shots, like or I don't know what it's called shots, but like links. You know what I'm saying? With like
It's a comedy.
everyday. It was.
Or it's
I
supposed to be
laughed.
serious.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's more of a mystery kind of drama,
Oh,
but it got hood shit in it.
Comedy.
Comedy.
Hood movie.
Well, Jamie Foxx is an OG pimp, and he killed it. He made me laughing a few times because it's like, the characters are very relatable. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's the way to rope people in nowadays, man. Like you make people laugh a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You make them think. You sneak in like smart shit in there.
Yeah,
and then,
it was dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just be like all serious. Like people are gonna get bored. You know what I'm saying? Like we need people now need like multiple ways to get stimulated. You know what I'm saying? Like keep people on your toes to keep the concentration levels up.
And it was very relatable, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a hood, it was like it had its hood flick vibe to it too. So
Relatable for you, buddy.
so it's like but yeah, it was dope, man. It was really dope. I laughed a lot. I laughed and it was dope, man.
So
it was,
4 fitteds for
fitted.
They Clone Tyrone. Excellent.
It's definitely a Netflix flick though. So don't go in there and expect, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a Netflix movie. Like you could tell like they had a budget but it was well done, well thought out, dope.
Excellent. And how many fitteds and how many do-rags for the first episode of Hard Knocks? Or we're not doing that?
We don't have to, but I could
to.
do it. I could do it because there was a lot for me, a lot.
He
to
didn't
be
want
desired,
to use the do-rags.
so I'll
He
do.
didn't
I'll
want to
do.
force the do-rags.
Yeah, I don't. But that definitely would. There would definitely be do-rags in there. I'll probably say a fit 3. I'll say 3 fitteds and a do-rag.
Oh wow, 3 fit. That's high. I would. I feel like
Because it quenched my thirst a little bit. Like I got to see Sauce, I got to see Wilson, I got to see Aaron. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it did quench my thirst, even though it did leave some.
Well, it's nice to hear that Aaron Rodgers quenched your thirst.
Pause.
3 fitteds, 2 do-rags.
No, 1 do-rag.
Oh, 1 do-rag. Excuse me.
Yeah.
3
3.4.
fitteds, 1 do-rag. Pardon me. Excellent. All right. I think that's gonna do it for this week's episode. Until next week. Who's the next
Oh, I got something.
on the preseason schedule for the Jets, and we
Panthers.
will have a Giants preseason game to talk
Yeah.
about.
That's
Friday.
tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow, Friday, yep.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about these reports, real quick? How you feel about these reports about Daniel Jones having a bad practice or whatever the hell that was the
Yeah,
only thing I've heard about the Giants coming.
I
out.
heard the first one was bad, and then the other ones have been decent or good or whatever the fuck they wanted to spin. But who gives a fuck? I'm glad that's
And I
happening.
heard
because-
Rodgers was very frustrated with the practice with the Panthers.
Was he?
That was the report.
I haven't heard much about
That was
that.
the report that Aaron Rodgers was. I think the quote was visibly frustrated or something with how some of the miscues in the practice with the Panthers. I think it was.
Wow. So let me tell you real quick about the Giants thing real quick. I know we want to go.
Yeah, no,
So-
let's hear it.
The first thing I saw was a touchdown. I think it was Slay. Somebody caught a touchdown in the Giants, and the first thing I noticed, I was like, "That's not Daniel Jones. That's I think it was Tyrod Taylor." So I'm like, "Oh
Tyrod
shit!"
Taylor's on the team?
Wait, but they cloned him too?
Nah. So
Tyrone
anyways,
Taylor.
so
Oh, I thought it was
so
Tyrone.
I'm thinking,
I thought they cloned Tyrod.
That's all. My fault. I'm just watching the movie. I'm just seeing the movie title with 3 Tyrod Taylor. You should make that happen. But
Everybody's pointing at each other.
but anyway, so the first thing I said was, nah, bro, Watch Daniel. Don't tell me Daniel Jones had a bad because there's no highlight, right? You feel me? Like they wouldn't have picked that as their main highlight.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I knew right away. I said it. I was like, oh shit. And sure enough, the reports came out later that he had a bad. But I'm glad because Daniel Jones, he's that kind of quarterback that he gets inside his head. Like I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought a lot of it was mental. That's why I had not high hopes, but I thought that Dable coming would have a great effect on for the positive, and it did. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I saw that coming, but I did believe a lot of it had to do with Daniel Jones' mental. So that what I mean. So that was the first thing. But I heard he has good practice after that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. For this preseason game. Let's see what happens. I hope some of the kids get to play. I'm really interested in the second linebacker, middle linebacker, who's starting there. I heard the safeties they pretty much got it locked down, but I still want to see.
What's that? That's McKinley. McKinley and who else?
McKinney and right now it's Peanut. Some kid by the name of Peanut.
Yeah, but man, I'm still mad that we got.
It's not Peanut. They pronounce it different.
It's Pinnock.
Pinnock.
Yeah, he was on the Jets.
He was a Jet. Yeah, he was a Jet. But I also like Belton, so let's see what happens there. And let's see. Also, I'm interested in depth. I want to see what kind of depth we're looking for.
Hey.
So, yeah, man. Let's see what happens.
Well, on that
I want to
note-
say something.
Go ahead.
I just want to. I know people ain't watching. Like my brother's probably not watching it now, but I just want to say rest in peace to my tia, Eva. I love you so much, and I want to put this out to the world. You know what I'm saying? I love you.
Of course,
rest in peace,
R.I.P.
and God
Rest
bless
in
you.
power.
Yes, sir.
And on that note, everybody stay safe. God bless. And we'll see y'all next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Stream is